Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Guys, you know, I'm gonna do like I did for the last episode. I'm gonna take my time during the intro to prepare myself mentally for this episode. I need that. Give me that. Give me that time. I'm already exhausted and I didn't begin that episode. The last episode, I cried already a lot during the last episode. I used an entire tissue for it. This one, it can just be worst. The fact that I have really no hope for anything to get better, to be at least good, or at least to not be bad, it's bad. At least, you know, that fight into that place against your friends, friends against friends, humans fighting humans, humans from the same people, the same community fighting each other, at least that, it's over. How it ended. With our guys killing some of their friends, soldiers, Reiner and Falco, Konye, Mikasa, blood raining on Mikasa, Armin, Soher, Magato and Shadis sacrificing themselves for their students so they can save the world. I think that they died proud, you know, not of themselves, but of what they did for them, for these kids, you know, not because of what they were doing during that present moment, but because of what they did for these kids. They were proud that these kids, now they have that mission of saving the world. You know, it means that you raised them well. When your kids are doing stuff while making you proud, you can be at least a little proud that you raised them well. It was so symbolic and so emotional, that moment. And that was well done on screen. I said it, the fight, you know, because during some moments they didn't put any music, or at least any epic music, like they were doing during some other fights, putting epic musics to create epic moments. They were filming also these moments in an epic way, so we could be only like, yes, that's so badass, that's so brave. Right there, the fact that they filmed it, they made it differently and without this big epic musics, it was really for the viewers to feel the emotional impact, you know, of these moments for the characters to kill each other like that, to do stuff like that. And it was well done, really well done. At least that fight is over, but it means that now they're gonna go after Eren, who had already the time to destroy and kill a lot of people, Liberio, all of the rumbling titans. And again, you're gonna try to reach him, but to do what? To convince him? You're not gonna be able to do it, that's not gonna work. To kill him? Can you do it? I said it, I think that Armin and Mikasa, they can't. For Mikasa, it's not only because of the fact that she's an Ackerman, but also because she can't and because she loves Eren. And I think that if one of them, I mean all of them, they can understand Eren's reasons, but if one of them can follow Eren, you know, also for these reasons, I think that it can be Mikasa. Not Armin, I don't think so. So for killing Eren, not Armin, not Mikasa, I think that Jen can do it. Jen, he proved it during the last episodes, during this season, that he's a good captain, like he can lead men really well during fight moments. He can push them to fight like Levi can do it, to forget emotions and to just fight. He did it to push Armin and Mikasa when they were facing pixies during the last episode, to kill that soldier because Mikasa was hesitating. Jan can be a good captain, a good leader, and can have that way of seeing stuff. And a little like Levi, who had that thought during the first season, saying that if he needs to kill Eren, he would do it without hesitating, you know, during the trial moment. Like Levi did during that moment, I think that Jan can do that during a moment facing Eren, trying to kill him. And I'm saying trying because I don't think that anyone can really kill Eren. Only Eren can stop himself in a way. But for now, Eren is blindly following that desire of revenge, of punishing the ones who made him and his people suffer. But for me, it means that he totally forgot the first desire that he had even as a kid. It was not to have revenge, it was to be free. He was angry, and again, remember, it's the first thought, the first thing that I said about Eren episode 1, season 1. It was, that kid, he has a lot of rage. But his rage was going on the direction like of the Titans, because he wanted to be free, because he wanted to see what was happening outside of the walls. The idea, it was to be free. Now the idea for Eren, it's not to be free anymore, it's to have revenge, revenge, revenge. And you know what I think about that? Revenge can only mean death, so it can only mean revenge, so it can only mean revenge. It never ends. And at this point, they are all guilty on all sides. They are guilty. They caused a lot of pain. They had a lot of pain. You can't compare these pains. You can't compare who suffered the most, who is the most guilty, who began first. No. These questions and these answers doesn't count. Don't count at all, because at the end you all suffered, you're all guilty. And now that it's said, what? The answer that Eren is doing, it's not we're gonna continue, it's I'm gonna annihilate all of the other people, so I'm gonna be sure that my people are not gonna suffer anymore. First, are you sure of that? Second, still you made a fascist system into your people, you know, to control your people. No one can be against you, no one can say anything to you. You're gonna threaten people, or not threatening, like just you're gonna kill people who are against you, who are not thinking like you. And you're gonna commit an entire genocide. You're that fascist leader now, Eren. I don't say that I hate him or anything like that. I say that I understand his reasons, but I'm against his ideas. And again, it was really well done for the writers to make this entire season without Eren. In fact, at any point we followed him, we were with him, we heard his feelings and all. We were with him only with other characters were with him, and in fact we were following these other characters, and the only thing that we saw about Eren, it was him doing bad stuff, you know, attacking people, killing civilians, attacking his own government, taking the control by force, creating a milice, making the rumbling, going after the entire world to make a genocide. It's only bad stuff, and the fact that we didn't spend really moments with him, we can see that in a more objective way than if we would have been really with him, so we would have felt also his pain and stuff like that, you know. I can see the stuff now in a more objective way. If I would have spent time with Eren, seeing his pain, seeing him being haunted again and again by his mother, It would have been different, like right there, I know it, but to see it, to feel it, episodes by episodes, it's different, you know. I'm afraid for this episode, for our guys to face Eren, to have news about Eren, to know what he did during all of this time that we were not with him. I'm afraid by it, I'm stressed, anxious, I'm sad in advance, same than during the intro of the episode 27. How this episode is gonna end, it's also stressing me a lot because I think that it's gonna be a big cliffhanger to prepare for the part 3 of this season 4. You know, I said it normally at the end of a binge watching, I'm a little melancholic, even if I know that I'm gonna have more episodes. Normally I'm a little melancholic because really I spent entire months with you guys, so it's always weird and emotional to say goodbye for sometimes to an anime. Right there, I don't have that emotion at all because I'm just sad and stressed. I'm wearing my lucky shirt, so at least I expect none of our guys, you know, like the survey corps to die. We already had Shadis and Magato dying. That's all. Stop. No one else is gonna die right there. And none of the survey corps, you know, that we were like that with them. Like, you know who are my favorite characters. They can't die. Levi, Jan, Armin, Konyi, Mikasa, and Eren. Eren, I don't want him to die. Really, I don't want him to die. I want him to come back to reason. I know what I just said. I prepared a tissue. Maybe I'm gonna make some breaks during the episode, you know, to leave my mental breakdowns in peace. Maybe I'm gonna swear also in French. It was the case during the last episode. Remember what? There is a pigeon who just, you know, went on the tree which is just in front of my balcony and really is swinging, you know, on the branch like... Are you enjoying yourself? Into Attack on Titan, we always have birds and each time it's during a symbolic moment and it's for them to represent freedom, you know. The subject of freedom, of them, they are free and they're outside and living their lives. The fact that you are swinging like that... Ah, no, he went on another one. You're not swinging anymore. But, you know, do I have to take that as a sign, you know, to represent freedom and you're swinging, dancing on your thing like... Oh, no, I'm not gonna go that far to interpret that, but it was fun, you know. Yeah. Oh, it's my nerves. I think that I'm... Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, I was gonna say if you want this episode earlier. On Patreon, they always add 6 episodes of advance. And at least since the episode 18, I think they have 4 reaction parts only. And no matter what, during this entire binge watching, they had a lot of 4 reaction parts. Right there, they're gonna have the 4 reaction part also. So if you want that, you have my Patreon. If you want to support me, if you want to thank me for this entire binge watching of my channel, if you want just to support me for my channel, you know that I'm a little reactor, I don't have the views or even, you know, people on Patreon as much as other reactors. So if you want to support me, even if it's just for 1 month, it can be appreciated. You have my Patreon. Let's go for this episode. Ah! The bird is out. The pigeon is out. No, no silence. Stop. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna take my time. Really, during this intro, I'm gonna take my time. It's to prepare myself to leave stuff not so badly. I can't realize, you know, that it's the last episode of this part 2, that it's the last one of this binge watching, before, you know, seeing the part 3 with you guys, to discover it with you guys. I can't realize that, because really for now I'm just like, pain, 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 pain. They're gonna be in pain, I'm gonna be in pain, and all of this story, it's about pain. When it's supposed to be about freedom. Let's go. A bird? Really? What a surprise! He did, he changed. Eh? He always had that rage into him, but not for that desire. Is it something, you know, which is gonna happen into the future? The dawn of humanity, and we're beginning the episode like that, like when you discovered Liberio, I mean, we're coming back to... That's you all made it? The one that you're gonna destroy! It's when he ran away, you know, he escaped. It really happened, you tried to discover Marley. She discovered ice cream. You're afraid of clouds, right? You're saving the kid. Levi, I love you, I love you, I love you. Why are you showing us that moment now? You knew it. To see it, it's different, but you knew it. And you don't even know about his real plan. To have that moment now, it's like Mikasa trying to convince us, you know, about what Eren thinks or what she's gonna do. Like always. Where is Eren? Ah, to see the boy and how he lived. He was crying.
戦争で居場所をなくした人たちが集まって暮らしている。ある日突然日常が終わって何もかもが奪われた。ミカサ、お前はどうして俺のことを気にかけてくれるんだ。子供の頃俺に助けられたからか。それとも
Because she loves you.
お前のなんだ。
She's not ready. The famous, I consider you as my brother. You're like my brother. Ah! So cinéma, amigo fan. You are showing us happy moments and all when we know that for now we all is about pain.
我々は各国に知ったユミルの民の難民への援助を求めます。彼らはただエルディア帝国に荒廃を強いられた哀れな被害者なのです。見るべきは100年前よりあの島に逃げた悪魔。
They all died, you know, 1 century ago. Do your math.
あの日からエレンは私たちのお父さん。果たして他に選ぶべき選択肢はあっただろうか。全ては最初から決まっていたのかもしれない。
Coming back to that moment.
あの時もし私が
Like for Eren, everything is related. No, I don't think so. Everything is related to his mother's death. For her, everything is related to Eren saving her.
どこからが始まるんだ。あそこかどこでもいい。俺が望んだこと、すべてはこの先にある。ジークはあなたを信じています。あなたもジークを。
Eren, he knew that he would escape, he would run away, you know, from his friends. That's why he had this moment of joy, this party with his friends just before leaving. I'm sorry, I had that thought in mind and I couldn't focus on what was happening. I'm gonna go back. Ooh.
俺はジークの計画に従う。フリーブする。お前もそうしろ。憲兵団はお前を巨人にして島に来たジークを食わせる計画を進めている。
You told her to get pregnant.
この島が生き残る一番堅実な方法があれば私はそれに従う。あの時エレンが私をかばってくれてみんなが動いてくれたから。
お前が良くても俺は違う。世界を滅ぼす全ての敵をこの世から。
そんなの間違ってる。島の外の人全てが敵じゃないのに。
Yes, even Historia, you know, didn't really make them like so no one's teaching knows.
肉親による報復の演奏を完全に終結させる唯一肉親の歴史を文明ごとこの世から葬り去ることだ。
To commit an entire genocide against the rest of the
島
world.
のためだけに生まれる親子同士を殺せ続けるような真似は俺がさせない。
It's not about being free anymore, it's about revenge.
二度と胸を張って生きていくことができない。
You want to try something to stop me?
それまでお前が黙っていれば。
そんなこと
お前はあの時俺を救ってくれた。世界一
You're reminding her that now?
特有の疾患があるなんて巨人学や草葉さんからも聞いたことないな。宿主を守る習性、そんなものないと思うぞ。その行為には
正体も習性もやむにやまれる理由のない巨人をひねり殺せるくらい
You told him that!
好きなだけだ。
じゃあね。
で
Eren, you knew it!
俺は長生きしてもあんた
But still you said that to hurt her after that.
俺が死んだ後もずっとあいつらの人生は続く。続いてほしい。幸せに生きていけるように。
They can't. The world that you are offering, no, they can't. You don't know them. They can't be happy to the world thinking that you make that entire genocide.
人類の英知のすべては同じ目標に狙いを定めている。これを止める手段はもう人類に存在し得ない。
You're gonna die, you're gonna all die. What's the music? The slow music like that and the lack of music, it's really to make us feel. Emil, really, you created them well. We're gonna see it, like, really, we're gonna see it happening. We're gonna see it happening. They're giving up, they know that they can't wait. It was the opening credit, I didn't. I said it, it's the origin of Eren being like that, wanting revenge. Not wanting to be free, to be out of the world, wanting revenge. What? Oh, I'm sorry. You know, the episode ended, so my player on my computer went directly to the episode 27 that I watched just before that. So it went back, you know, directly to where I ended the last episode, the episode 27, so to the ending credit of the episode 27. And I just saw that it was 4 minutes long, the ending credit, and I was like, fuck, maybe we had an hidden scene at the end of the episode 27 that I didn't see. It was. We had an ending scene. I'm gonna watch it now. There is really no sense in what I'm doing, but I want to watch it, and I want to feel my reactions about it, and I'm not gonna make another video just for that.
君たちの故郷レベリオを救う道はどこにも
Hange and Reiner.
もう私が戦う理由はなくなった。
レベリオもマーレも壊滅状態は避けられない。だが彼は命を賭して私たちを先へ進めた。レベリオやマーレのためじゃない。
This is for the
幻
world.
の人々を一人でも多く救えと。
だとしたら最初の疑問に戻るけど、あんたにエレンを殺せるの？あんたは黙って見てられる。戦いたくない。あんたと殺し合いたくない。
Which one and give me up, you know? I don't need the review, I already watched the next episode. Ta mère. Oh, ta mère! Why? They put the ending credit normally when they're making hidden scene like that. There is a warning, you know how it's done for the ending credit and all. There is kind of a warning to announce that we have an hidden scene. Right there, nothing. It's giving me hope. The fact that she's asking that question again, Annie, to Mikasa, and I said it in review of the last episode and in intro of this episode, that in front of Eren, I don't think that Mikasa, no, Armin, they can kill Eren. Jan maybe, because he's the one pushing them to fight no matter what during the fight scenes, to let the emotions behind. But Mikasa, I didn't have this impression, and even more I had the impression that she could be the one to follow Eren, not because of her blood, but because of her love, and because maybe she's the one, you know, she's the closest to him, person to him, so she can in fact follow him, you know, and his reasons and his ideas. But the fact that we have that at the end of this episode, and the fact that this episode, you know, first part of this episode, it was Mikasa talking about what she thought of Eren, what she felt about Eren, and questioning herself about what did I saw into you, why did I love you. Maybe things would have changed, maybe you wouldn't have become that, or maybe in fact you were since the beginning like that, but I didn't see it, we didn't see it enough. You know, questioning herself about that during the first half of this episode, and second half of this episode it was about Eren's side. I'm gonna go back to that. But because of that first part of this episode, and because of that I didn't see the last episode that I didn't see but that I watch right now, I'm like, maybe I'm wrong, maybe Mikasa can face Eren at the end, can be the only one to kill Eren, but because she's gonna be the only one to get that close to Eren to be able to kill him. You know, maybe Eren is gonna be like me, thinking that she can be the only one to really join him, and she's gonna bluff about it, and at the end she's gonna kill him. And you know what we had also during this episode with this flashback, like really I didn't expect a flashback like that at the beginning of this episode. With that flashback, what we saw also about Eren when he came into Liberio, like I'm saying it since a long time, we know Eren, we know his reasons, we know his pain, we know all of what he lived, we know that everything began with his mother being killed. We had that again, you know. He promised since that moment that he would get his revenge. It's all about that, you know, getting his revenge. I said it also, he forgot that at the beginning it was about being free, all of his people being free and happy, having a normal life, being able to see what is outside of the world and not getting revenge. But for him, in fact, since the beginning it was getting revenge. He forgot, you know, that, and now it's all about the revenge. I was saying, when he went into Liberio, I remembered also the fact that inside of him he has the memories of his dad, so he's feeling also his dad pain, you know, being back right there in Liberio, he can feel his dad pain. Seeing these people being treated like that, you know, in a racist way, he has these memories of his dad, these feelings coming back to the surface, and his dad, what he wanted, it was also to get revenge, you know, to fight the Marleyans and all. So he has also all of that about Grisha inside of him, pushing him to have revenge and all. If he thinks, you know, Eren, and if it's true about the fact that Armin, some of Armin's actions are dictated by Bertolt, you have also to consider that a lot of what Eren is doing is dictated by Grisha and Grisha's past into Liberio, all of that rebellion thing, what happened to his sister, all of that, you know. So right there, coming back into Liberio, Eren, he felt also all of that. He had that pain coming back. That moment, all of them being happy, I cried because to see them happy, knowing all of the pain that they lived and that they're gonna live also after that moment, it hurts. After that, when I realized that Eren, he knew it, that he would leave them, so he wanted to have that moment of fun, you know, before leaving, it hurt. And for Mikasa, yes, to think about what did I miss, you know, in a way, what did I miss about Eren? Maybe we didn't pay attention enough, maybe it was in front of us since the beginning, maybe it didn't change, maybe he was like that aspect of him, that side of him, and yes, just we didn't pay attention enough. The fact that she's questioning herself about what did I love, you know, about you that much. Oh, the fact that he asked her, what do you feel about me? And she said, you're like my family, like really the usual, you're like my brother, or you're like my sister. The friend zone moment. Nothing would have changed, you know, for Eren if she would have responded differently. I mean, all of what I just said about Eren wanting revenge, feeling all of that pain, it was still true, and Eren would have done that, be that, even if she would have said something different. In fact, if she would have said something different, if she would have confessed her feelings, maybe he would have told her the truth about his real intentions. But he would have done it no matter what. Do you understand what I mean? It was not, tell me that you love me and I'm gonna forget all of my plans. It was more, tell me that you love me and I'm gonna tell you my plans so you can follow me because I want to share that with you. You know, something like that. I really think so. For Eren's part into this episode, you know all of what I said during this season about the fact that the writer made all of this season without really Eren, in fact, without us knowing what Eren was doing, his real intentions, his real plans, to not be with him, to not share feelings, emotions, to have him on screen only when other characters were with him, to have only his actions to judge and not his feelings, to know all of his reasons but to not see him expressing these reasons, so to not have the emotional side of these reasons. Do you understand what I mean? To really see all of what happened into an objective way, even with knowing Eren's reasons, but again to not have the emotional side of it. Right there with the second part of this episode, you're only presenting all of what happened during this season with Eren's side into an emotional way. You're reminding the viewers all of Eren's reasons into an emotional way. During all of this season, we knew Eren's reasons, but we could judge his actions because we were not connected emotionally with him, not directly. Right there, with the second part of this episode, we are seeing everything again, being emotionally connected with him. And it's just a reminder because I said it a lot, everything for Eren is connected to his mother's death. Since then, he wants his revenge. Little by little, that aspect of getting his revenge took all of the place and not the part of being free, having all of his friends free, living a normal and happy life. And right there, what he said during that moment, you know, that he's doing all of that for his friends to be free and happy. The fact that he still believes, you know, that he's doing that for his friends to be free and happy, but they can't be. You can't think, you can't really imagine that Armin, Jan, Konye, they are gonna be okay with you killing everyone and that they're gonna be free and happy if you are doing so. You don't know them, you don't know Armin's heart. Armin, since day one, how he is, you can't really think that Eren is gonna be okay with it, is gonna live a happy life after you doing all of that. He can't, and none of them can. They're not gonna accept, be okay with the world that you want to offer them. They're gonna be against you. And you know, the fact that he's saying that during that moment, it's making me sad for Eren, because it means that when they're gonna come to stop him, Eren is not gonna understand why. Because he convinced himself so much of this mission being, for the big part, the majority, getting a revenge, but also like to reassure himself. He told also to himself a lot that it's for his friends, to get them free, for all of them to live a normal life and a happy life, that when he's gonna see that they are not okay with it, they're not happy right there, they're never gonna be happy with his decisions, and they don't want the life that he wants to offer them, when Eren is gonna realize that, it's making me sad for him, because he's not gonna understand. He's not gonna understand, it's gonna break him, you know, in fact. It doesn't mean that he's gonna change his mind, I really don't think so. Now, the more I think about it, the more I think that things can't end. It's gonna be Eren being alive and doing his rambling, his plan until the end, or Eren being killed by his friends. It's one or the other. I can't see a world now with Eren coming back to reason. I can't see that happening, it's awful. So it means that he's not gonna understand at all when his friends are gonna be like that in front of him. Yes, my supposition for now, it's really Mikasa is gonna join him, but not really, because she's gonna get close to him to be able to kill him. And that's gonna be also the conclusion for their relationship, for all of that devotion that she had for him during all of this time, because she loved him and she understood him and all. And you know, the fact that Zeke right there told Eren that it's not because of her blood that she's doing all of that, it's because of her devotion. You knew it, Eren, and still you told all of that to Mikasa, knowing that it was not the entire truth. I was right about it, he couldn't think really that it was the entire truth. And that's gonna prove it, you know, if Mikasa managed to kill him, you know. It can be the conclusion of all of that thing about the Ackermans, all of that thing about their relationship, all of that thing about Mikasa. Like, if for Eren everything began with his mother's death, you know, all of his journey, for Mikasa everything began with Eren saving her. Oh, if you're forced to kill Eren, Mikasa, it's gonna break me for you. Like, can you live after that? Can you have a life? You're gonna kill yourself. But for now, yes. If I have to make a theory for the end of all of that, it's that. Oh, to see Sasha right there during this episode discovering ice cream. All of them being so happy and all. And buying carrots to feed the cows. To have also Levi saving that kid. You know, a thief. Levi was a thief when he was young. The no regrets of the ace. It's the end of this binge watching, guys. I'm gonna see you when for the part 3. Like, I'm gonna have to wait to have them, this episode. I never waited, you know, to have episodes of Attack on Titan. I always watched Attack on Titan since months now with you guys. That's gonna be weird to not have Attack on Titan into my life anymore. That. When are we gonna have the part 3? I'm gonna see you just for the part 3 now. Also, you know, you on the comments and all. If you're watching this on Patreon, normally it's gonna be tomorrow or into the next days. I'm gonna organize a live session to talk about Attack on Titan, about this season, this entire binge watching, but also for what I expect for the part 3 of the season 4. And yes, you guys, I'm not gonna see you again until the part 3, and I don't know when the part 3 is gonna be, and I'm gonna live my life without Attack on Titan into it. Right now I began, you know, Demon Slayer. I wanted to begin it, to begin a new anime on my channel. I had so many issues with the first episode on YouTube. But yes, normally when you are watching this on Patreon for sure and on YouTube also, I think, you already had the first episodes of Demon Slayer on my channel. If you can be interested to continue to be with me for Demon Slayer, to also share your thoughts about it, and to have also my entire binge watching of Demon Slayer, you can stay on my YouTube channel or go on my Patreon also. Same on Patreon, we're gonna have some advance. For now, I think that it's 2 episodes of advance. With time, maybe it's gonna be more, like it was the case for Attack on Titan. So yes, I'm lucky I have Demon Slayer right there, that I'm gonna continue to discover, that I'm gonna enjoy. But to not have Attack on Titan into my life, after loving it so much, to play with it, to make all of this series, but also being in love so much with some characters, like, it's gonna be weird and it's gonna be sad and difficult. And yes, tell me if you know when we're gonna have the part 3. I'm still, you know, I can't be melancholic like I'm usually, because I'm still so sad, you know, by all of what happened during these episodes, you know, these 2 episodes that I watched today, but also for all of the symbolic stuff that they put into it, for all of our guys, and for all of what I imagined for the future. I'm nothing but sad, you know, right now. I'm not stressed anymore, but I'm sad. I'm really sad. Guys, I'm gonna tell you goodbye. At least for now, for Attack on Titan. I will see you for the part 3. I don't know when I'm gonna have it. We're gonna have it. For sure, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna react to it, I'm gonna publish my videos about it. For those of you who can be interested, I began to react to Demon Slayer, and you know, into the past I also reacted to Death Note, to Avatar The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, if you can be also interested maybe, and to plenty of other shows and all. Oh! Rain again. It's a good sign, right? For me it's a good sign, rain. It always. Yes, if you want, I'm reacting to plenty of shows. For the animes I just told you, for Demon Slayer. If you are just discovering my channel with this episode, I binge watch all of Attack on Titan. Check the playlist to have all of these episodes and OVAs into the chronological order. And you have my Patreon if you want to have the extended and full reaction parts for these episodes. I think that it's gonna take me the rest of the day for sure, but maybe even more than that, you know, to after this episode, after the end of this part 2, and also to realize that I'm not gonna be with this anime anymore. I think that I can't realize really that now because I'm too much into it still. I think that I'm gonna realize when I'm gonna post you these videos, in fact. Okay, it's all for you and for me for Attack on Titan part 2. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye. Oh, I'm beginning to realize a little, but I'm not gonna see you again for a long time, you know, for Attack on Titan. Weird.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.